great weekends here in Montreal. Final morning of World Tour stop number 2 here. Repechage, 1,500-meter woman, just about to get started.
There will be. There's a look at the morning schedule. It's sort of flipped from yesterday's calendar. 1,500 meters for women and the 500 meters for women and the men's 1,000. And then we'll also chuck in some relays as well for you over the course of the day today. As Tyler mentioned, women's 1,500 meters getting us going. The morning session won't actually feature any relays, I say later on, so that's this afternoon. So stay tuned for that. Look at our officials. They've been here for quite some time.
They've put some hours in on those skates. Can't do this without them. So big thank you to the officials for spending all that time standing out there on the ice. It's long weekends, but they're doing a terrific job.
3 heats, top 2 from each race, and up to, it says here up to a maximum of 4 fastest third place skaters go into the repechage when there's 3 heats. On the page I'm looking at anyway. Oh, you have it as 1.
1, yeah.
We're on different pages if you're wondering.
Ready.
7 skaters in this one. Quickly run through it. Miroslava Selyukova and Diana Michalchuk of the Ukrainian Wildcats. Leah Mead in front of the New Zealand Ice Kias. Hirai Ami of the Japanese Ninjas. Natalia Malashevska of the Polish Hussars. Maya Somodi of the Hungarian Falcons. And Gwendolyn Daudet of the French Roosters. And you've got it right because there aren't 4 heats. So there's only 1 person moving on at most from a 3rd place position. And so,
well, as Courtney Siro told us yesterday, you can't count on that 1 spot.
Exactly, and it looks like these skaters are not, because they are not off to the swiftest of starts.
Yeah, so with this 2+1 advancement, going to be all about that first 2 finishing spots at the end here. No one's going to be too concerned about the time, unless we see that 3rd heat where there's no fast times, no advancements put up yet. Perhaps someone may make a go for it, but this is all about the chess match right now.
Malashevska on the back there. We know how good she is in a 500, a former world champion medalist, world championship medalist, a silver here in 2018, the first ever Polish short tracker to win a medal at the World Championships. 1,500 meters is a whole different beast, and yesterday we saw Quentin Fercoq, more of a 500-meter specialist, try to throw caution to the wind and turn and burn, and couldn't hang on in the end, but it made for an exciting race.
Well, you know, he was giving himself a chance. He was giving himself a shot, trying something different. And we have a bit of a slip there. Did we lose somebody?
We did. So, it was Michalchuk, and so that's just split the field. Malashevska, Daudet, and Mead, 1 and 3 right now. There are 2 incidents in that alone, which we'll be getting a look. And it's Mead on the front right now. The gap is closing back up. Somodi, Hirai is there. Somodi almost there. So they've almost done the recovery, but they've burned a few of their matches trying to close up inside 3 laps to go with Daudet on the front right now.
Malashevska looking comfortable in 2nd here, but here on the outside, we got Hirai going the long way around. Malashevska jumping up the inside.
She gets the run on Daudet. Somodi also going into 3rd, and Hirai looks like she's going to pull away for this one, and Malashevska is going to try to hang on for 2nd, and will do just that.
So that unfortunate fall of Michalchuk really kind of split up the pack there, but Somodi did a good job, as well as Hirai, getting back to the top. And we've got to look at the final results here.
One of the incidents has been cleared. That's why the dot has turned green. So, brief look outside the Maurice Richard Arena. It feels like fall this morning outside finally. We've had some unseasonable warmth, and there's a little bite to the air this morning. This is the incident.
Yeah, so reviewing a possible arm push or a possible click of blade. Daudet moving to the lead.
Malashevska was there at the time of the incident. There are a few skaters around there. And they're still taking a look at it. I'll let you know. Of course, they'll head down to the ice for the announcement. One of the new additions to the World Tour is having those decisions announced on the ice. Previously, of course, it would just go up on the video board. It's nice to get that confirmation from an official.
Well, yeah, it's nice for the official to go out there and make his call, have it be known to everyone, justify it. You know, it's very reminiscent to what you see in some other sports where the officials will do a call at the center field, if you will.
After review has become a common refrain in a lot of sports these days. Fans, of course, clamoring for that openness and being in on the decision, feeling like they are the target, because of course they are the fans, the spectators. This is what it's all about, entertainment, and they want to know what's going on. And here we go, not quite yet down to the ice. And if there is no decision, then the results just tend to go up. There we go. No decision taken. Malashevska second. Maya Somodi will hope for the other two races to go clean. But 2:36.772, it was not the fastest of starts.
No, not a blistering race at all. I don't quite think that time will hold up, but I'm not going to make any predictions because
these could also be slow too.
Yeah.
Svetlana Repechage, another Wildcat. Betty Muska, Lisa Eckstein of the Wolves. Hyojin Kim of the Racing Roos. Annabelle Green of the Royals. Zhu Eli of the Lungs. And Medina Janbusanova of the Kazakh Nomads. Another 7. All these heats have 7 skaters in them.
Start. Ready.
Sort of lull us into that sense of maybe this will be a little more urgent with the first few strides, and then they just settle in. And so it's almost a battle of see which heat not going for time will ultimately have the fastest time, if they do, of course, go for the third place time.
Well, those first few meters of the start, whether you take them really slow or you do them a little bit quicker, they're not really taking much out of you, so there's not a lot of harm in just going quick to the corner, just to kind of get yourself forward in the pack and then relax and just say, okay, I'm fine. If we're going slow and I'm at the front, there's no benefit to drafting at a speed this slow. The draft benefit comes when the speed is faster. Then you're going to benefit more from that reduced air friction. However, these slow speeds, no benefit to be in the back. So you might as well just be out front.
Almost nobody took a stride on that back stretch. It's Betty Muska, the 21-year-old from Rostock, in front right now. 2020 Youth Winter Olympian, finished 20th in the 500, 28th in the 1,000. And it's Annabelle Green up into second, Zen Busanova now taking a look.
Well, you can see all these skaters are kind of thinking the same thing. They're all saying, you know what, I want to be near the front, but I don't want to be at the front. Like, I just want to be, give me a second place there. Oh, we got some bumping as, again, they're jockeying for position within the pack.
Repechage sort of
I think just forward and push to the front there.
Almost.
Now we're going.
Now Kim just saying, you know what, nuts to this, I'm off. And Muska goes down. But Kim got tired of it, and she's off to the races, the Racing Roo. Zambusanova behind her. Repechage in third at the moment. That incident where Muska went down will be reviewed.
Well, with 4 laps to go here, you really want to establish yourself near the front.
Shoulder to shoulder. Kim coming out of it. And the incident was cleared, and so we are just straight up racing now. Kim doing a nice job hanging on. Inside 3 to go. After nobody wanted to be on the front early, now they all want to be on the front.
Annabelle Green sneaking into second there.
Zhu Lee in the lead. Lisa Eckstein.
Eckstein making a move outside. Nice pass.
Zhu now comfortable. Eckstein closing that gap up a little bit. Eckstein was 36th at the World Championships in this distance in March, and it looks like it will be Zhu Lee and Lisa Eckstein going 1 and 2. That review was cleared for the earlier incident, so just ruled a racing incident. So how does that third place time compare?
You know, it's almost, I think it's about 1 second off. We'll see. We'll wait for the official. Excuse me.
You've been talking a lot this
we've been doing
weekend.
a lot of talking, starting to lose the voice here. It was very close, but I think it was actually, just a little bit slower than the first heat. So Modi's time is still looking good right now. I don't think we're going to be seeing any advancements from that race.
One more heat still to come, and Zhu goes through.
So as I mentioned earlier, this is a race. Okay, so we see the times now. 2:37 was the winning time, but Annabelle Green's third place finishing time was a 2:38.5. So that's just shy of 2 seconds off Modi's third place time. Now we're going to the final race. Again, we mentioned it earlier, 2:36, not a very quick time. Perhaps here we see in this third heat, without any advancements yet, and the times having been slow, someone may see that as an opportunity to push the pace to try to get a better odds of qualifying.
We saw one of the Ukrainian Wildcats yesterday go off early, and he was caught and passed, but in the end his third place time was enough to...
No, it was
advancement on the last heat.
The last one. So it was enough to the very end. Had there not been an advancement, that strategy would have paid off.
Right, it was that close. I remember it was down to the final heat, and then finally there was that advancement.
Which we very much could see here, where someone's going to push the pace to get that third place time, and then we see an advancement, and that's all for naught.
Exactly. Of course, there is, if someone does pick up the tempo, there is always that chance that there are more interactions on the ice, a collision, and then you're risking advancement there. So there's the start list. Chloe Olivier, Lam Ching Yen of the Ice Chillins, Katarina Buric of the Dalmatians, Nakashima Mide of the Ninjas, Petra Vankova of the Ice Spiders, Louisiana Stahl of the Eagles, and Hanna Sokolovska of the Polish Hussars. Interesting one here, considering the first two, as Tyler mentioned, not the quickest, so we'll see if they go faster.
Start. Ready.
Not so much.
Not blistering yet. There's still time.
But yeah, especially that last heat, they were incredibly slow for a long time. But yeah, they can ramp it up a little bit earlier and put some seconds in the bank, and now it is. This one is faster.
Yeah, it is slightly faster right now. Still not quick whatsoever.
Buric, skater from Zagreb, on the front.
Well, there's no urgency out there just yet, so
I think they just know they don't need a huge injection of pace to be in that third place discussion. I mean, there was one point where they were all bunched up and nobody took a stride on that back stretch.
And finally, wearing number 98, representing the Polish Hussars, Hanna Sokolowska.
So lapping the 12-second range, Buric looks like she might start bringing the pace down. She was getting a little bit lower in her position there. Drop into the 11s. Again, this is still quite easy, quite relaxed for these skaters.
Louisiana Stahl behind her, a member of the 2024 U.S. World Junior Championships team. She does not turn 20 until December.
Here we go.
Now things start to wind up. Sokolovska tried to come up from the back. Buric senses the danger a little bit behind her and now picks up the tempo.
Kashima on the outside, jumping inside. Oh, Buric defending.
Olivier always one to try to make a move, but everybody's trying to make a move right now. Buric fending them off. She has that inside line. Stahl goes down.
5 laps to go here.
It is Buric still in front, Nakashima in second.
Stahl gets up, but kind of goes back down. Hopefully she's all right. Now she's back up again.
Nakashima makes the move for the lead. Olivier into second. There's a bump with Buric there. That saps a lot of her speed. And it's Sokolovska into third.
Kashima pulling away. Is this she emptying the tank too soon? Can they pull her back in with 2 laps to go?
And inside, 2 to go. Nakashima has fractured the field a little bit, but Olivier is closing it up. And so is Lam Ching-Yan at the bell. Nakashima, she's looking a little labored, but hanging on. Olivier looking to make a move. 3 skaters queuing up behind her. Lam makes a move on the inside on Olivier. And it's going to be close to the line. I think Vankova snuck up there, but Nakashima did hang on. Lam with the late move. There was one incident being reviewed.
Let's get that camera working. Let's fire up that photo finish. It's going to have some work to do today.
Yeah, it's an early start. That was a close one for what could be an all-important 3rd place.
Yeah, because the time, as we saw it, was quicker on that race. So the 3rd place, again, we have a review on the board, so we have to see if there's any advancements, but the 3rd place time would hold up if there are no advancements.
Budic held on for so long. She did take a bump. Like, there's the incident with Stahl. Not sure if she went down on her own. And then there was the late move.
That was a tight inside pass by Lam there.
On Lam to get up in second. Here's the finish, and it was the ice spider reaching out late, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Vankova.
Vankova. It doesn't look like the review is going to lead to anything. They're already all out on the ice. It is still up there on the board. The results are still listed as unofficial. Oh, there you go. Heat 4 canceled. Yeah. Sort of confused. That's why my information here is a bit out of date, because up to the Magnet 4 fastest, it all makes sense now.
Well, we must have had some skaters withdraw from this 1,500 meter event. You know, it's been 2 busy weekends back to back. They're going to be due for some good rest before the next World Tour stops.
Still have 500s today, mixed relays possibly as well. So they still have a long way to go. And just waiting for this result to be final. So they are now taking a look.
So a couple different incidents being reviewed in this race. Some possible contacts from behind on a few skaters.
Here's one.
Reviewing
that's the late move. I thought Budic took a bit of a bump earlier where it came up, but maybe that was mistaken. But that was right at the finish line. It took a lot of speed out of Olivier to take that bump, but it might also just be that's racing. Could also be. So they're taking an extended look at this one.
Well, they're reviewing the domino effect here we're seeing in our notes. Which is in which one skater runs up onto another who pushes that skater into another in front of them, and so on and so forth.
Who started it?
Yeah.
It's like a young child. He started it. There's Stahl going down. Right there, I think she just on her own.
Well, the cameras in that review room are getting put to use right now.
Yeah, they get every angle all at once, and now it looks like a verdict has been rendered, and we'll get to throw things down to the ice level.
After review, we gave a penalty to number 98 from Poland, and we have an advancement for skater 103 from USA, and we have a shared responsibility for skater 49 from France and number 72 from Hong Kong, China.
There you go. So it was the first incident. It was Stahl going out, and it's Sokolovska who got punished there with being penalized. And then the late pass there, it's just being ruled shared responsibility. So no discipline there between Lam Ching-Yan and Chloé Olivier. But they did take a look at that fall by Stahl, and they did get a look at something. We'll get a replay of it here. Contact from behind.
Not the best angle to quite see that hand come up.
Sokolovska looked like she was far behind, and so, but yeah, it would have been around the corner. She would have put that up there and sort of diagonally. She wasn't even in front or behind her. It was almost, it would have been a diagonal situation. So well spotted for them by that, because I obviously missed that with my own eyes.
Sometimes it's just a natural reaction of the skaters. When someone's kind of closing in on you, you feel yourself getting kind of squeezed in. You're just going to put that arm up.
And now the men's 1,000-meter quarterfinal repechage. Cellier, Desmet, Ka, Anderman, and Berzins. 7 heats. Just the race winner and up to 3 fastest second place qualifying for the repechage semifinals. As repechage quarterfinals go, it's a pretty potent group of guys. You have Stan Desmet, of course, we know, regular trips to the finals, the A finals, the podium. We have Berzins, who has World Cup hardware. Cellier, who can turn on the speed, of course, in the 500 meters, has had some spills this weekend, though.
You got it, Gavin. As far as a 1,000-meter repechage quarterfinal goes, this has some heavy hitters in it for sure. So Stein de Smet's been looking quite strong. He's been training here a lot. He's very comfortable on this ice, but Rainis Berzins is, you know, he's a skater to watch for. He's had a few good races as well. He's got a few podiums in his career. And at this point, they're not lapping too bad, you know, low to mid 9s, but really you can't rely on these time advancements. It's kind of, it's an all or nothing. You want to make sure you're that top position. You got to win that race to be safe.
Berzins, whose World Cup medal last season, came here in Montreal in 1500 where he picked up a bronze. So Desmet now ramping things up. Inside, 2 to go. It's Desmet, Cellier ready to turn on the speed as well. Berzins hanging on, Cellier up the inside, trying to make that stick. There's a bit of a bump. And it's Stan Desmet. That little bump will be reviewed. It knocked a lot of speed out of Berzins. He'll slip to 4th. But Stan Desmet, tidy from him.
Yeah, just a great outside move there by Stan Desmet. We saw DNA Cellier trying to go up the inside of Berzins. You got to watch those inside passes because they're easier for the skater leading to defend. When you're going on the outside, you just can't keep pushing out. You got a little bit more room to work with. So much safer to try to complete that pass on the outside.
So Berzins did lead for a while until Desmet put on that surge. There's the late move right there. There's the bump. That's what's getting the look.
Yeah, they're looking at that possible inside skater failure to give way. Taking a look at Cellier there and reviewing that pass.
And so any discipline there would take away one of those 3rd place options, of course. But yeah, speaking of the strength of this field, race 1 in the men's 1,000 meters just speaks to that growing depth. And we're going to throw it down to the ice level.
After a review, we give a penalty for skater 32 from Poland, and we advance skater number 37 from Latvia.
There you have it. So Cellier is penalized for it. Berzins advanced, and there goes 1 3rd place time.
Only 2 remaining, 6 more quarterfinals here in the repechage to go.
And second heat coming out, headline here, Brendan Corey of the Australian Racing Ruse, Matsubayashi Yui of the Ninjas, Wara Noiron of the Ice Bears. There's a look at the incident from lane change inside to out right there. Jumping back into this start list, Mohamed Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars and Timofey Kilkelko of the Ukrainian Wildcats.
Go to the start. Ready.
Bozdag making an A final yesterday in the 1500 meters, finishing in 6th. Nice shot in the arm to that Anatolian Pars program.
Yeah, just a great result for him. That's going to give him a boost of confidence absolutely going into today. So see if he's going to try to repeat, get through this first round of the repechage. He's making a move on the outside.
Around Noiron, he's going all the way for the lead. It's in tight early. It's going to be dangerous around the corner. They both decide to take it comfortably through.
Corey just defending well. He's not giving it up easily.
Corey, if I'm not mistaken, this will be it for him. He has no mixed relay duties, of course, no men's relay duties. So this 1,000 will be the competition for him. So he's going to dump everything he has into these races. Bosdag still on the front. Again, just talking about that depth. This is the Repechage quarterfinals, and some strong skaters here as Corey goes back to the front.
Well, and they're pushing the pace on this one. You see them go low 9-second laps here. This one might go under 9. It does 8-8, so they're pushing the pace here. This is a quicker race. Brendan Corey just dominating from out front here. It kind of creeped out of nowhere and just opened up a nice gap on everybody.
Inside 1 to go. And he's going to take this one going away. He crashed out of the lead earlier in this competition, so safely around the corner for him to take that one. Noiron gets up for second ahead of Matsubayashi Yui. Nice guy, Brendan Corey, too. We see him warming up. He's now waves at us and says hello as he goes by, and so makes us feel a little appreciated.
Absolutely.
Though from him, just turning on the jets, using that endurance as perhaps a 1,500-meter specialist to just measure his speed there.
Great look at his skates there. I like the skate covers, the lace covers with the Australian flag and the kangaroo.
So he is safely through. Of course, I'll say it a lot for these events, it's a quick turnaround. They'll be flooding the ice after these 1,000-meter races, and then it's right back out for the Repechage semifinals for both the women's 1,500 and the men's 1,000. There you have it. Brendan Corey through while Noiron 1:28.537, which I believe is the faster of the 2 heats we've had so far. Next heat, Jung-Sun Woo. Perhaps a bit of a surprise name to be here, the 22-year-old. Peter Grosskloos of the Philippines Tamaraos, Brendan Kim of the Eagles, Martin Kolench of the Dalmatians, and Wara Van Dam of the Belgian Ice Bears.
Well, Jang-Sung Woo, world ranked #2 in this event, so not a skater that we typically see in the repechage of a distance like this, so he'll definitely be the favorite to watch.
But always the possibility for these. These could be banana peel races where you have to get through them. You still have to get over that line, and anything can happen, as we well know.
Go to the start. Ready.
And talking about the world ranks, if anyone's wondering where the world ranks come from, they're looking at your last 6 races in this distance. They'll look at the races from last season through to this season. So at this point, they'd be looking at the 1,500-meter event, 1,000-meter event from last weekend, in addition to the last 5,000-meter events from the World Cups last season.
And a gross close. Going all the way to the front, really ramping things up. It was a bit of a slow start, but that's changed in a hurry. Van Dam, one of 2 Van Dams here this weekend for the Ice Bears. Frey Van Dam, of course, the junior level skater making his World Cup debut. This Belgian team does a lot of training in Montreal, and Jang goes to the front.
Brandon Kim working his way on the outside. Nice, relaxed pass there.
That's a bit of a bottleneck. Gross close, forced out wide. Van Dam almost coming to a dead stop. I wonder if he knows what he did. We'll see. We'll see what the ruling is at the bell. It's Jung and Kim going toe-to-toe. They go shoulder to shoulder.
Well, let's get a review on that. So Jang-Sung Woo was going for a real defensive deep track on that corner entry. He just swung out far too wide, opening the door for Brandon Kim to jump up the inside. So you'll see skaters doing defensive tracks like that where they're kind of trying to, create a challenge for the skater following behind them. So they'll enter a little bit deeper, a little bit wider, and kind of cut back in, causing the skater following them to run up on them and lose their speed. But Jang Sung-woo just oversold it too far, too deep, and that just allowed Brandon Kim to take that open lane right to the front.
Nice win for the 23-year-old, the USA Eagles. And there's Jung when he jumped to the front. So we'll see if we get a look at what is being reviewed. But I mean, of course, I'm not one to pass judgment, but when Van Dam stood up after the incident, was it a, I have no more speed, so let's just give this up, or does he go, I think I did something there?
Yeah.
Here is the review.
After a review, we gave a penalty to number 109 for Belgium.
There you have it. So there is a penalty. No advancement, though, because it was not in one of those advancement positions. So there you go. It's Kim and Jung Sung-woo, 127.950. It's faster than the last lap anyway.
Well, Jang Sung-woo is going to be holding his breath on that one to see if that time will stand.
Courtney Savo yesterday. Here's a look at the review again, inside to out. And all it takes is that to sap the speed. Savo yesterday says it's not a good feeling to sit and watch and wait. It's better to just get in one of those automatic qualification positions and make it easier on your heart a little bit. You can relax a little bit more. Peter Murphy of Luxembourg, Adil Galiakhmatov of the Nomads, Shinky Connect, the Dutch Lions veteran, and then a pair of Bulgarian Kings, Stefan Alexander Komurgiev and Maxim Maximov. Busy day for Connect yesterday with the relays. The men's relay. Galiakhmatov as well.
Go to the start. Ready.
This one bursting out of the gate. We'll see if they maintain that speed or if it was all just to get to the front. Certainly a quicker opening.
Rank number 130 representing Luxembourg, Peter Murphy. Number 34 representing Kazakh Nomads.
Yeah, Shinky Connect's getting the speed going a little bit on this one, but all those past two races did start lapping quite quickly at around that 6 to go marker where they're getting down to the low mid 9s.
I know Galiakhmatov can also ramp it up quite a bit. Sitting in third right now with the jet black helmet.
At this 5 laps to go marker, you really got to be thinking about how you're going to set up your move. Are you going to try to go inside? You're going to try to go outside? How's the pace feeling?
Example of Connect staying above the fray, so to speak, letting the drama unfold behind him when you're in the lead and able to keep your speed up. There you go. There's a crash. You stay away from trouble like that.
Tight inside pass by Murphy there. Galiakhmatov is looking really relaxed behind Connect right now. There's going to be a little bit of a showdown. Can Galiakhmatov make this move as he builds up his speed? Can Connect defend it?
Going very wide at the bell. Galiakhmatov, as he's sizing up the move, he is trying to go around the outside. Connect defending. Galiakhmatov going to push again at the line. I think Galiakhmatov takes it.
Beautiful finish by Galiakhmatov, just setting it up. He kind of gave that impression going wide, but he just stayed wide, kept his feet moving on the entry, built a ton of speed to exit that corner faster than Connect. I think he was able to get him at the finish line.
He was winding that up for at least the last lap and a half, taking those very wide lines.
Well, that's just very composed racing from Galiakhmatov, biding his time, being patient, saving it for the right moment to strike.
Contact looked minimal there.
Just another look at the finish. Nice big stretch.
So bragging rights there for the Nomad over the Lion. 14 thousandths of a second, the difference.
And I don't think that time of Connect is going to be quick enough to hold him in a time advancement position right now.
Yeah, it's just the one. It's just like a repechage semi almost, where there's one guaranteed spot going through. So, and down to the ice.
After a review, we gave a penalty to number 130 from Luxembourg.
There you go. Peter Murphy is penalized, but it was not in an advancement position, so just the penalty. We'll get a look at it as well. It looked minimal contact, if anything, but as we know, it doesn't take much at the speed to put someone off. Gali Akhmetoven connects time, not good enough, so the Dutch Lion veteran will not move on to the repechage semifinal. It's going to be a failure to give way.
You can see Murphy just isn't ahead, right? His shoulders are still behind on the entry. He needed to give way and back out of that one.
Heat number 5, Yaroslav Morozov of the Wildcats, Theo Collins of the Royals, Robin Bendig of the Wolves, Su Junpeng of Chinese Taipei, and Yerkabulan Shamukhanov of the Nomads.
Go to the start. Ready.
And this one does not look like it has the swiftest of beginnings. Although maybe Morozov wants to change that. Picking up the speed, building up a gap. Collins has to pay attention, or that gap can grow pretty quickly.
You got to be careful sometimes too when you're the lead skater, creating some separation from the rest of the pack. The pack may let you go a little bit like this, but eventually they're going to react. And when they react, they're going to be closing you down. They're going to be tracking faster than you. So when they get up behind you, quickly the whole pack can just consume you and overtake you. So you can find yourself leading the race like this with a nice gap, and all of a sudden the pack just eats you up and you're back in 5th. So let's see if that unfolds here as the skaters kind of start to close in.
Now it's Shamukhanov making the move into 2nd.
I think we're seeing a lot of skaters just go right by now.
And Collins trying to get around as well, and he is able to do that. Had he been stuck behind a slowing skater, that would have allowed Shamukhanov perhaps to go off into the distance. At the bell, it is Collins making the move around the outside. Shamukhanov defending, taking him way out wide. Collins now pushing, and yes, just at the end, nice move by him to get it.
Well skated by Collins. That's a great race. Shamukhanov, you know, ranked 34 in this distance, so he's a strong skater. Well done by Theo Collins.
Likes of Niall Tracy and pulling that Royals side every week, every time out on the ice. This team is building a little bit. That British Royals program, Elise Christie was really the stalwart of that program for so long, and now it's in a rebuild mode essentially after she moved on.
Yeah, the British program, they had a point in time back in the, I think it was around 2013, 2014. They had a very strong men's team. They actually set the world record in the relay together. They had some great results, but then Elise Christie was really, kind of the figurehead of that program with having a lot of success, and that drove a lot of funding to the British Royals team.
And Collins taking that one. Shamukhanov's time not good enough, and as we know, every race when you're a team that's scrapping for funding amid other sports also trying to do the same, you hold up your results and you say, look at what we've done, help us grow. Heat number 6, Watanabe Keita of the Ninjas, Lu Jianshuo of the Ice Chillins, Benson Ogradi of the Falcons, Lucas McDonald of the Ice Kias, Lucas Wareham of the Racing Roos, and Lin Chunxie, that man right there, of Chinese Taipei. They didn't take part last weekend. Here this weekend, and a few trade-offs. There's no Norwegian Vikings this weekend. They sent a healthy contingent last weekend. There's Lu Jianshuo, fun skater to watch. Never one to find the openings to animate a race.
And 6 skaters on the line in these next 2 heats.
You're right.
A little bit busier out there on the ice.
For a 1500, it's not a huge issue, but as they pick things up in the 1000, it's a little bit more congested at the higher speeds.
Go to the start. And up, gentlemen. start. Ready.
Get away, but all good now.
6th skater this time around.
It is Watanabe on the front. Lucas Wareham.
Lou jumping up the inside.
He's always one to watch. Wareham still leading. Lucas McDonald now looking to come around. Nogradi also there. McDonald, the 23-year-old born in the U.S., competed for the Canadian side at the youth level, now representing the Ice Kias.
Noticing a lot of movement early in this 1,000-meter, a lot more than we've seen from the other races. I do feel that having 6 skaters in this race just changes the mindset a little bit more. Skaters really don't want to risk getting caught near the back, especially when it's a 1+3 advancement. We already have 1 advancement, so there's only 2 time positions. You're really gunning for that first place, so you want to stay near the lead.
There goes Lou, and there goes Watanabe, both around McDonald, one on the inner, one on the outer. Lou now going for the lead. Nogradi trying to defend against 2 skaters, but he can't hold off Lou. Is there an opening on the inside? Watanabe sees it. At the bell, Lou hanging on. Watanabe, Keita trying to go up on the inside. They're shoulder to shoulder. Lou trying to hang on. Nogradi's down and Watanabe's down.
Watanabe's grabbing his leg there. He might have got caught in the calf. Hopefully he's okay here.
Lou hanging on. He and Watanabe were
a ton of interaction between Watanabe and Lou going down that second last straightaway into the final turn. Both really pushing, battling for position. Saw some hands getting up. I think we're going to have a review on that for sure. So let's pay attention. Hopefully we get a little bit of a replay on that pass in the following moments. Or that pass attempt, rather, I should say.
Yeah, Lou holding him off just a tiny bit in front, but they were
so
shoulder to shoulder.
Here's a look. You see the hands getting up. Both skaters
pushing off each other, really.
Yep. You know, this is one where you see them both kind of getting the hands out as that shared responsibility.
Right. Nogradi looks like he started the dominoes there. Watanabe, just maybe the back of his blade was caught by the Hungarian Falcon. So 2 incidents getting reviewed there. One of them possible Watanabe on Lou, and then the other one is that finish tumble. Here it is, and so Nogradi might have caught one of the lane markers there going down. I think he did. See that one coming off. He might have gotten his boot on it.
Well, Watanabe lost so much speed going into that final turn that Nogradi just kind of ran up too as well. So I don't think there's a bit of a gap leading in, but such a speed change from Watanabe kind of throws you off as you exit that corner.
This is the last of, no, second last, pardon me. Still 1 more to go. They don't have the last skaters out on the ice yet. So here again, see, there's the lane marker that took out Nogradi. It was there, and then suddenly under its boot. I'm showing off that I had spotted that right there.
Yep. Yeah, left foot just wedging between Nogradi's boot and the ice. And that point, as soon as you kind of feel that going and you've leaned over so far on that skate, there's really no saving it.
What's the first word that's in your head when you feel your boot on there, and how bad of an expletive is it?
That's radio friendly. It's uh-oh.
They are bringing the final heats skaters out onto the ice.
After review, we give a share of responsibility for skater 90 from Hong Kong, China, and skater number 67 from Japan.
There you go, shared responsibility there. That's the only thing they're looking at, that finish line. incident was just an incident, so Watanabe Keita, 128.459. He has a chance. He's just going to wait and see what this last heat brings.
Well, it would be pretty interesting if he qualifies through, Watanabe that is, on time after sliding across the finish on his butt.
We saw a photo finish. They put up the photo last week when one of the Korean White Tigers crossed the line backwards on her rear end over the line. It was kind of funny to watch that because they, of course, went for the boot, so her whole body was over the line, but her boot was just crossing, or her skate was.
That's right. I actually think, yeah, it was like the heel of her skate that they used rather than the tip of the blade.
There you go. Heat number 7, Wesley Park of the Eagles, Gleb Ivchenko of the Nomads, Peter Yashapati, Ben Jung, Sean McAnuff, and Zdenek Sapal. There's Wesley Park. Sapal, when you're trying to find shots of him racing, he does a lot of inline, which of course a lot of guys do inline and then do short track, and a lot of guys do inline and then do long track.
Very common, and inline's a great training tool for a lot of skaters that don't have access to a lot of ice.
Go to the start. Ready.
We are on to the final quarterfinal race.
Sean McAnuff
66 from the US
of the Irish Wolfhounds, his brother Ryan, who also skated for Ireland once upon a time, celebrating his birthday yesterday. So I wonder if there are many celebrations going on in Montreal with a lot of Canadian connection to that family. On the front, though, meanwhile, Ben Jung, a Korean-born skater for Germany. Wesley Park of the Eagles in second. There is McAnuff getting up into fourth, getting ahead of Sapal of the Ice Spiders.
Some really defensive track patterns from Ben Jung up front there, trying to maintain control of the lead.
Chenko hits the front, inside 3 to go. Pardon me, 4 to go. Now he'll see 3. He's trying to pour it on, open up a gap. Wesley Park having to get around Jung to try to close things up again. Now Park is through. Now he has to chase down Ivchenko. Inside, 2 to go. It's Gleb Ivchenko on the front. Wesley Park, a long, long way to go. I don't think he's going to close it up. We'll see if the time holds. 128.459, the fastest second time to beat. Ivchenko goes through. And then Park 127.99. That looks like it may be enough for the USA Eagle to go through.
Well, very nice skated race by Ivchenko. Very well timed, move to the front. Was able just to put the pedal down, extend a gap, and just stay clear of any drama behind him. Here's another look at that move to the lead by Ivchenko.
After that, he just put on the afterburners and nobody was able to keep touch. It took that split second long for Wesley Park to get around, and it was too much work for him to try to close things down. And so there you go. Wesley Park does go through as one of the fastest third place times. 2 skaters go through, just 1 advancement in the end. Gleb Ivchenko winning that heat. And they are going to pause for an ice flood now. They'll tidy things up, and we'll be back for repechage semifinals, starting once again with the women's 1,500 meters, and then once again the men's 1,000. So don't go anywhere. There's a look at the qualifiers. We're going to take a break. Back for the decisive repechage semifinals. Stay with us. So these ones always limited to no margin for error. And it is just one heat for the women's repechage semifinals. I thought I sort of did a double take, but there we go. Nakashima Mide, Lam Qingyan, Hidai Ami, Natalia Malashevska, Zhu A. Li, Lisa Eckstein, and Louisiana Stahl. And so potentially 1+1 going through, of course, advancements, yada, yada, yada. But since it's only one repechage semifinal, that second place time could go on through, because usually with 2 repechage heats, it's just the winners. And now that I think about what I just said even more, time doesn't matter.
Time
just
doesn't
the top
matter
2
at all.
finish.
It's just it's almost a 2+0, but it's not. It's a 1+1. So if there's an advancement, that's going to trump that second place finish. So
regardless, a second person will go through, either time or advancement.
Is irrelevant here whatsoever. Yeah. So expect a slow start to this race.
But yes, and that's why they do say it's not a direct 2, because it's either going to be just second place or advancement.
Correct.
All right.
Now you got it.
Here we go. 7 skaters.
Some mental gymnastics here to start us off.
Start. Ready.
So Nakashima Mide, Lam Qingyan, Hidai Ami, Natalia Malashevska, Zhu A. Li, Lisa Eckstein, and Louisiana Stahl. And like a herd of turtles.
Well, I think we called it on this one, Gavin. Time doesn't matter. Don't expect a quick start.
And so we'll see who decides to just say, you know what, I'm off. Good luck, everybody. But they're almost all standing up right now.
You know, if I'm a coach talking to these skaters before their race, you know, I'd be telling them, okay, if we're going to expect a slow start, that's fine. You don't have to go to the lead, but just be sure you're paying close attention, because if it starts this slow, it's going to react very quickly. Don't find yourself caught back in 7th, because we're driving for that #1 position here.
Never mind before the race. If you're a coach on the sidelines, your athlete could probably hear you pretty well right now.
Right now they could. However, all the other athletes can hear you too, so you don't want to give away all your cards.
We were talking yesterday about what you might hear or see when you go around to see the coach. Well, there they could for that one last lap, but...
So if you notice the Chinese lungs coach, he's putting out his hand, he's giving call signs. You know, for some skaters that speak different languages, that's also an advantage, right? They're less concerned about people perhaps understanding what their coach is calling to them. You know, for the majority, a lot of these skaters do understand English, so that could be a disadvantage. But if you watch the coach right there, Gab, did you see it again?
I just saw a shout. I'll pay attention this time to see.
Watch the hand.
See what happens. It is Zhu on the front right now. Stahl trying to move to the front. She received an advancement from the last round. There is a shout I saw.
That one was a shout.
Of course, there are those athletes who speak 3 or 4 languages, and if it's one of the ones that they know, they might have that secret information. Stahl on the front. Register of the U.S. side here.
All right, expect things to get moving here. We're coming up on 5 to go. You definitely want to be positioned those top 3, 4 spots, the 1st to 4th with 4 to go. Here we see it.
Moves coming to the outside. The ninjas, the blades of stealth, as they say, teaming up to come around the outside, but Zhu hits the front. Stahl starts to fade. And it is Hidai Ami. And then Nakashima Mide. It looks like we now do have some separation. Malashevska, no chance to use her speed if she can't get up there with the leaders.
It's tight together here. Nakashima's trying to look outside, trying to look inside, but this pace is just too quick.
Zhu holding things off. The ninjas are going to be fighting for second at this rate, and it looks like it's going to be Hidai Ami getting in for second behind Zhu A. Li. Clean race. Looks like it will, in fact, be the top 2 moving on.
I know you've heard me say it before, but just when it starts that slow, they expect that quick finish, and that's what we saw there. They still had a lot of legs left in them, so they could really push the speed, and that just makes it so difficult to pass at the end when they're at top velocity. and they're not fading, they're not fatiguing near the end, so they're able to keep pushing. So that's where it's so just advantageous to be positioned near the front before that speed really jumps.
So there you go. That was, well, it wasn't the quickest of race, but the fact that there's only one repechage semifinal means that we've zipped right through that. Two skaters moving on. The Lung and the Ninja. Some quick patch job coming up. Wouldn't imagine there's a ton of damage to the ice, but they like to protect that start-finish line there. Or the finish line, really. There's the results. Hidai, the little Q next to the name, as she advanced on time, sort of, with just one heat.
No, technically she did.
256, 476. Not the fastest, but hey, there's just one of them, so.
And the other thing, there's the 1,000 meter and the 1,500 meter start on opposing sides of the track. So right now we're going to be switching from the 1,500 meter to the 1,000 meter. So the starters also have to change positions.
They're making their way around to the other side. There we go. The skaters are out for men's semifinal, repechage semifinal, heat number 1 in the 1,000 meters. A couple of nomads. A white tiger, an eagle, and an ice bear. So Glebovchenko, Jungsun Wu, Wesley Park, Adil Galiakhmatov, Stan Desmet. This one will be fun. Tough to handicap, especially when just one place moves on. Yes, yes, yes. Barring any advancements. This song that they're playing on the PA, not sure if you can hear it, probably is older than most of the skaters out on the ice. This was from when I was in elementary school. It's Hansen's Mbop.
Yeah, that was my favorite song, I think, in 1998.
There you go. A lot of these athletes probably have no idea what's going on. So that's just if you could hear the background. Of course, from home, I'm not sure if you can hear it. So this is our morning ramblings before the World Tour session this afternoon. So they will line up once again, one place. Moving on to the afternoon session, the quarterfinals.
Go to the start. Ready.
Galiakhmatov has some speed. We know Jungsun Wu can lead it, but look at a skater like Wesley Park, also an option.
I flirted with the idea of trying to make a prediction on this one, and I thought better of it.
It's probably a good idea. It's just very even. Like, you look at them and you just go, I've seen all these guys. They can all mix it up. Like, you see who has the better timing, the better tactics, rather than who is the fastest in a drag race. It's Galiakhmatov on the front right now with Park.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it already, Gavin. This is just a 1+0. Time is irrelevant here, so it's all about the victory.
Nice move by Desmet to slot up into third ahead of Jungsun Wu.
Well, we saw in the previous round, Galiakhmatov drafting most of the race behind Shinky Connect, making that late move. This race, he's chosen a different strategy where he's leading the charge from the front.
Dangerous skaters behind, including his teammate Glebovchenko. Not afraid to turn it up. Coming up to see 2 to go. And now Desmet makes the move, getting around second. Jung, nice move up the inside though into the lead. Desmet at the bell, moves up the inside into second. He's got to get up there if he wants to be one of those advancers. Jung holding him off nicely. And I think just enough, made it just enough separation on the backstretch to take the win, did Jungsun Wu.
Yeah, that was a very nice move. Stein Desmet was making his way up. I think he was kind of getting some interaction with Wesley Park. Jungsun Wu just capitalized on that opportunity to fly up the inside. Didn't look back. He had actually very nice defensive deep track once he took the lead to kind of bunch up the skaters behind him, forcing them to dump some of their speed. So, well played.
Galiakhmatov, I'm just noticing a little stumble. No, that was Ivchenko with a bit of a stumble off the line, but didn't cost him much of anything. But yeah, Galiakhmatov led for so long, yeah. Sneaks up the inside.
Let's see, if you watch the entry, he cuts over wide on the entry there and cuts back in. This was a following corner. you have to be able to react so quickly. So if you're a skater following, you're waiting for your opportunity, you're paying close attention to the skaters as they're trying to make their moves in front of you. And as soon as you see them kind of coming together, you see that there might be a little bit of a contact where they may slow down. That's when you're striking, and you just got to time it all perfectly.
Hesitation, of course. I imagine that split-second delay could then lead to collisions.
Yeah, and it leads to collisions or you not making the move and you getting stuck in the back.
There you go, Confirmation Junction moving on. Skaters in the second heat out on the ice. Another 5 going for one spot, potentially one spot. Brendan Corey of the Racing Ruse, convincing win in his repechage quarterfinal. Brandon Kim of the USA Eagles, he made that late move, I believe, on Jungsun Wu on the last race. Lu Jianshuo of the Ice Chillins, Theo Collins of the Royals, and Rainis Berzins of the Latvian Golden Stars. And so, notice, unlike last weekend in this 1,000 meters, Roberts Kreuzbergs does not have to go through the repechage.
That's right. The benefit of that podium finish, putting them up into the top 20, and then having a great clean round yesterday. So no repechage for Robert Kreuzbergs this weekend.
He went all the way through the repechage and then all the way to the podium. And his teammate Berzins now to position 5. Would certainly like to join him.
Go to the start. Ready.
To that first corner, Collins wants the front.
Well, if I had to make a prediction, it'd be Brendan, Brandon, Lou, Theo, or Rainis who may take this race here. So
nice, nice. I see what you did there. It's Lou on the front. Everybody wants to take a turn. Different race for Brendan Corey. He got to the front and pulled away. I don't think that's going to happen this time, but as I say that, up he goes. Challenging for second. Gets around Berzins and now around Lou.
5.5 laps to go. Australian skater is
a lot of horsepower coming up behind him though. Berzins, a little tap there, lets him know that I'm here.
Yeah, Berzins not wanting to quite take the lead just yet, content with sitting into second and then waiting to strike later. But Brendan Corey, of course, going to be looking to defend that pass.
Look for Lou to find an opening. He does like to exploit those small openings. Here it is up the inside. Not going to do it this time though.
2 laps to go. Brendan Corey still controlling the lead here, picking up the pace.
Everybody's trying to push at the belt. Still Corey holding off a hard charging field. Brandon Kim trying to make a move out there on the outside. Berzins goes for the lead at the end and Berzins stumbles. Corey stumbles. The photo covers 4 skaters there.
My goodness. Oh, we got an injury, it looks like, for Berzins.
So it all came together on that final corner. Everybody dashing for the line, and yeah, Berzins in some pain. He's grabbing, I believe, his ankle on his right leg. We'll see what happens at the finish. Berzins made the move late, and Corey tried to fight back at the end there.
Yeah, Corey was swinging a little bit wide on that entry to be defensive, maybe a little bit too much room. Berzins taking advantage of it, then just getting caught up with each other. Corey tripping in. Oh my goodness, loss unfolding there.
And best of luck to our officials, but did Collins actually take that one?
Still getting so caught up in watching all different angles of that. I'm not even sure who got that one.
Yeah. Because Berzins got tangled up with Corey. That cost Berzins some speed. Collins got a nice slingshot out of that corner, and he might have taken it. We'll wait for the picture here.
Well,
there it is, and it was 0.02 of a second. Theo Collins taking it ahead of Berzins. There's a prone Brendan Corey. They're watching his boots way back there, but it's all under investigation right now. So we'll see what the review goes for. But Theo Collins first over the line, man who turns 21 in just 2 days' time.
Well, Brendan Corey really managed that race nearly perfectly until that final corner. I think, you know, upon review, he's going to think to himself, maybe I just gave up a little bit too much room. I could have just kept it a little bit tighter, you know, getting a little too defensive, but we'll go to the track.
After review, we gave a penalty to number 37 from Latvia, and we advanced number 36 from Australia.
There you have it. And so it's Berzins who gets the penalty. Corey goes through, and Theo Collins wins the heat.
And it all played out for Brendan Corey in the end.
There you go.
That's not the way you want it to unfold, but you take what you get.
You obviously hope Berzins is okay. Harold Silovs, the coach of the Netherlands, who is Latvian, helping him off the ice there. It's an illegal late pass, just, I guess, diving into the corner there.
And Berzins actually does some training in Heerenveen, so he's somewhat affiliated with that group too.
So there you have it. Jung Sun Woo, Theo Collins, Brendan Corey. We will see them later on this afternoon on the World Tour section of the program when that gets going. And you see another break coming up in about just over 16 minutes. We get into women's repechage 500 meters. Lots more to come. Take a break wherever you may be in around the world, and we'll be back with you shortly.
To watch the show track here in Montreal. It's the World Tour. It's starting this season, so it's really exciting.
It's a great venue. I think the ice is super good. The athletes really like it. We're super lucky to have it here every year.
A lot of exciting races happen here. Some world titles, a Canadian world title here in Charles. It's a place where a lot of short track legends have trained. So for me, it's really, really important to honor them for skating here.
As a fact, Montreal has hosted 5 world championships more than any other cities in the world.
We train here like since I'm pretty young, so I feel when I was young, like to be part of the team and then to be here at Repechage was kind of an achievement to skate in front of all the young kids. I feel like for them it's kind of an inspiration.
Often the clubs get to skate on Montreal ice here, and so I was one of the lucky ones that got to skate here when it was, I think my first time was when I was 12, and I just remember being so much bigger than what I'm used to in clubs. A lot of good memories that I made here throughout the years, so I was blessed to be able to continue those memories here this weekend.
I was born just like 20 minutes away from Montreal, so I've been here my whole life. I think what makes Montreal special is that the culture of every different country is mixed here in Montreal.
Montreal is a city like no other because it feels more like a European city in a lot of ways. I think North America, we're used to a lot of highways, big open roads, but in some ways I think Montreal, especially through downtown, feels almost closer to Europe.
I don't know what to say about working in Montreal. I feel like it's the dream kind of started here. So.
I think we're coming really strong this year. Last year we performed super well. I think the support of the crowd will be super important for us.
I think it's always nice to skate in front of the family and the friends.
Having everyone at home cheering for us is always a blessing.
That's the beautiful thing about Canada. We never go into a competition thinking we're going to finish second.
So I think we're really bonded together as a team, and we'll be super strong this year.
We're going to win everything, and no matter if we do or not, we're going to try.
There's 4 women still to go. Quarterfinals and semis pretty much in quick succession here. 5 heats in all. First place skater from each race, and a maximum of the 5 fastest second place skaters qualify for the repechage. So, as always, we discuss these things. It's possible everyone who finishes second advances, but no guarantee, especially in the 500 meters.
That's correct, Gavin. We initially had 6 heats scheduled. Looks like we are down to 5. So, again, we'll be paying close attention for any advancements.
Heat number 1, Shim Suk Hee.
Shim Suk Hee not on the ice.
Is not here. So there's 4. Interesting. Malika Yermak, Annabelle Green, Betty Muska, and Una Wilhoit.
Ready.
So we are down to 4. There's a DNS for Shim Suk Hee, which is interesting.
Well, the absence of Shim Suk Hee from this race really changes the dynamic. Obviously, she's ranked 10th in the world in this distance, so she is certainly wasn't going to be a strong competitor, but she's not here, and we have Annabelle Green leading it out for us.
It's Green, Yermak behind her, Muska in quick succession, Wilhoit of the USA Eagles trying to tag back on. It's Yermak making a move, and Muska. So Green has faded to the back there. Yermak is leading things around. It looks like she will hang on for victory, barring anything on the final corner. Of course, we have seen that before, so it is Yermak Muska, 45-3-0 now on the clock. So it's 1 clean race anyway.
Now, unfortunately for Annabelle Green, after that inside pass of Yermak, that really kind of lost some ground for her, and she found herself in the back. She was off to a great start in this race, but here's another look at that pass by Yermak. Annabelle Green just kind of hesitating there, not able to get onto that next crossover quick enough.
Well, when you're fighting to hang on to the lead and defending, and someone does finally pass you, how does that, do you suddenly just feel your fatigue and then there's just no response?
Sometimes you do, for sure. If, you know, in the 500, maybe you feel like you're starting to decelerate, you're losing some of your speed, and when that pass goes by, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, how do I get this back? How do I get my feet moving again? And your legs are starting to get heavy at the end. So Igor said, you know, skater to skater will vary on your strengths.
So often when you watch something like cycling, where the rider's in the breakaway for so long, and when finally he's caught, there's just nothing left, and suddenly he's, after fighting valiantly to hang on, he's just suddenly aware of how fatigued they are.
Just the mental break.
Yeah. Valentina Askic, Zheng Chutong, Nakashima Mide, Uliana Dubrova, and Hyo Jin Kim, everyone out for heat number 2. There's Askic there. Dubrova of the Wildcats.
Start. Ready.
Race into the corner, and it's Askic of the Dalmatians. Of course, watch out for Zhang Chutong there. It's a pretty even heat in terms of world ranking. No one really head and shoulders above the rest. Askic doing a good job defensively, but queuing up behind her, Zhang and Nakashima.
Well, nice job out front of Askic there, maintaining control. Let's watch for Zhang. She's going to try to set this up. She's going to want to have that first position. That opens the door.
And it's Nakashima moving in. 3 skaters going for second place there, and it's a nice wire-to-wire win for Valentina Askic ahead of Nakashima Mide.
Great skate from Askic there. Well controlled. I think Zhang, when she was looking to make that pass, she just opened the door a little bit too much on the inside, and Nakashima was able to sneak in and kind of push Zhang out. So maybe something to debrief with their coaches after that one, and how can she improve that execution of her pass and finish next time.
Gonna have to wait for next time from the looks of things. No one getting reviewed for anything. Askic using the benefits of position 1 to go wire to wire. Nakashima out with a 44.285 now. Also watching to see if the other races are clean, as that would mean she would go through, of course. That's 2 out of 5 clean races so far in this Repechage quarterfinal. Just wait for the official results to go up on the board. Third heat skaters already out there. There you have it. Now jumping into heat number 3, Zafia Konya of the Falcons, Wang Xinran of the Chinese Lungs, Gwendolyn Daudet, we saw her not too long ago in the 1500 meter repechage, Lisa Eckstein of the German Wolves, and Lam Qingyan of the Hong Kong Ice Chillins. Now I guess the perks of having a deeper team, plenty to choose from, is that you're not doing every event. A skater like Gwendolyn Daudet, one of 2 French roosters, is essentially doing everything, and when she's doing the repechages as well as qualifiers, she's got to be feeling it by now. Yeah,
it's a bit of a balance, because at the same time, you may not have to do everything if you have a bigger team, but you may want to do everything too, and you don't get the opportunity to better your chances in the overall Crystal Globe title too. So it's a bit of a mix.
Of course, always mind on development, getting as many races as you can under your belt. Talking about Daudet, she turns 26 later this month from just outside of Paris.
Ready.
Everyone in position off the start to the corner. It's Konya, Wang, and Daudet. And it looks like those 3 are pulling away. It's a long way back for Lam right now. Daudet sizing up a move, perhaps on Wang. Konya holding everybody off right now.
Wang looking to the outside now.
There's an opening for Daudet. Can she sneak in on the inside? Not that time. Konya still holding them off, and another chance for Daudet on the inside. Wang going for the lead. Daudet going for second. Lam back in the picture. And it's going to be a dash to the finish. Wang forced out wide. And Daudet and Konya, I believe, got it 1-2. Konya 1, Daudet 2.
Putting that photo finish to good use again. It's probably still hot from the previous rounds. But, you know, Wang doing something a little bit similar to her teammate Zhang for the previous round. She's looking for that outside pass. The outside pass in the 500 is so difficult to accomplish because skaters are going so quickly. And when you go outside, you've got to skate a larger distance. So we're seeing that here, and that kind of leaves the door open for Daudet to try to sneak up the inside as Wang gets kind of caught on the outside. Sometimes this is a bit of a reverse pass, not what you're quite looking for.
And as Daudet goes out wide, that opened the door a bit for Lam, but on that final turn, can't keep it together. And I think Lam might have even snuck up for third. Let's see if we do get a look at the photo. Not yet. I don't think anything was reviewed, especially with Wang going out wide on the corner. There's the picture. Konya, Daudet, and Lam does in fact get up for third. So that's another clean race. And Daudet 44.793. 2 races to go, and all those second place finishers watching and waiting. That's the second fastest heat out of the 3 heats, at least for that runner-up time. So the slowest one right now is heat number 2.
Only 2 heats remaining, no advancements at this point, so some skaters will be getting through on time unless we have some very unexpected races coming up.
You just had to say it, didn't you? Heat number 4.
I want to cover my bases here. I didn't want to make the...
We always have to. I always want to be the one...
guarantee.
Yeah.
But odds are...
Zeynep Kumarkin, there's a look at Yelizaveta Sidorko. Holly Hoyland of the British Royals. Position 1 will be Zeynep Kumarkin of the Kazakh Nomads. Also there, Chloé Olivier hoping to make it 2 roosters in the repechage semi. And Dita van Oorschot out of position 5. Long way to go for the Dutch Lion there.
Ready.
Everybody safely through, but nope, we are whistling it back again just when you thought it was safe. And at that point in time, it looked like they were all through. What could we be looking at? Perhaps a belated false start somehow? I'm not sure.
That would be, it would be too late for a false start. Perhaps there was a whistle earlier. The athletes just didn't hear it. We have two skaters going to get their blades checked.
There's Hoyland taking a look. So let's see. So let's take a look if Hoyland off the line, if there was something.
Yeah, there was something there with Hoyland.
A bit of a clip there.
Clipping her blade.
Just the slightest little thing, and she's good to go.
It seems that this weekend on the World Tour, the officials are really paying close attention to these starts. There's been a few that, you know, to the naked eye you would not have thought they would have called back, but they're doing it right now.
And also we've noticed very few false starts, even when there's only just one strike and you're at very few false starts.
Ready.
The commentator's curse did not rear its head there, and it's Sidorko, the 20-year-old now from Sumy in Ukraine, out in front. Kumarkan behind her. Olivier perhaps letting a little gap open up to maybe pick up some speed.
Yeah, different order to start off with this one. So Sidorko able to take advantage of that restart to get to the front of this race.
There is Olivier maybe making a move, not quite yet. Van Oerschaut was dangling off the back a little bit. Maybe that's to gain some speed. Still not there just yet at the bell. It's still Sidorko in front trying to hang on. Kumarkan in second. Olivier, now is she going to try and move late? It's going to be a push to the line. It's Sidorko, and it's, ooh my, I think Kumarkan may have just held on. Olivier maybe reached out a bit too early. So I believe it was clean.
Kamar Khan there off the start, having a slip. She'd won the initial start, but that restart went to Sidorko, taking full advantage of it. That really played out to her benefit.
I believe we did go through it all clear. Nothing getting reviewed in this one at the line. Olivier thought she might have had it, but Kumar Khan, I believe, did get it. And there it is.
Sidorko with that trademark bow in her hair.
You can always spot it. The pink helmet, and then there's the bow hanging out. I don't think any other skaters do something like that, but nice race for her. For the young skater, 20 years old.
I'm not sure if that one was tested at the wind tunnel or not.
Didn't matter in the end here anyway. 44.750, 44.815. So comparable to Daudet's time, a little bit behind her, a little bit faster. No, that's
currently the third fastest qualifying time.
Right, and one more still to go. There you go, Kuro Kawaki of the Ninjas, Gabriela Topolska of the Hussars, Ksenia Adamenko, another Wildcat, Katarina Budic of the Dalmatians, and Leah Mead of the Ice Kias. Finished our discussion last weekend of the Ice Kias. I mean, you could just call them the Kias as well, because they do live above the snow line in New Zealand, as we discovered. Interesting parrot that also eats meat, also rips up cars, from what I understand. So a scrappy bird, representing a scrappy program, if I can say that. I don't know. I'm just trying to put it together here.
What's their favorite car to eat?
I don't know. There should be a study done on that.
It's not a Kia, is it?
Oh, hey-oh. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the New Zealand sports so often associated with the Kiwis. This time changing things up a little bit and opening the door on a little bit of learning education for all of us here. So it looks like the ice is repaired. After this, they are going to do another quick fix and then have the final Repechage semifinals.
Ready.
And the ice into the corner. It's Gabriela Topolska out of position 2, jumping ahead of Kurokawa. So right up there, Ksenia Adamenko. And then after that, there's a bit of a gap to the last two. It looks like it's the big three potentially going for 2 places, coming up to 2 laps to go. Topolska holding them off right now. And down goes Mead. And at the corner, or at the bell, it is still Topolska. Kurokawa trying to potentially make a move. Adamenko has to make a move here. Not going to do it at the line, and it is Topolska jumping out of position 2 and holding that lead all the way to the end.
Really no changes in that race. Unfortunate fall by Mead. She's still a very young skater, gaining some experience here on the World Tour.
So Topolska just kept the pace high, that nobody able to make a move.
Yeah, there's not too much to analyze there. Topolska just took control right away. She didn't look back. Well skated. She had a nice clean track pattern, keeping the pace just too high for anyone else to make a move. It's a bit of a textbook 500, if you will.
Hussar going from the gun. And I think that one is confirmed. It's official. So all of the second place skaters do in fact go through. And so that will set up the repechage semifinals. I know we have only had a couple of races, but they are gonna quickly douse the ice and get it set up for the final races of the morning session. That's the women's 500-meter repechage semifinals. So you'll see the results. You'll see the qualifiers for the next round of races. And we head into our final quick break of the morning. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be watching it. If you're watching on the ISU YouTube channel, feel free to check out all the content that they have there. Of course, much anything on ice blades, or blades on ice, let's get that correctly, figure skating, speed skating, short track, you name it, lots there to see. And of course, on the World Tour, lots to come this season. Feel the rush coming to an end here in Montreal. Don't go anywhere.
Racing will resume at 11:39 a.m. with the women's 500 meters repechage semifinals. J'aimerais prendre la chance de remercier nos commanditaires et nos partenaires pour ce week-end. A big thank you to the sponsors and partners for this weekend: L'Union internationale de patinage, Patinage de vitesse Canada, Patinage de vitesse Québec, le gouvernement du Canada, gouvernement du Québec, la ville de Montréal, Tourisme Montréal, Dunamu, China National Sport Group, Navarre, Intact Assurance, Svant, IGA, Parc Olympique, et finalement Hôtel Universel Lioul, Aéroport de Montréal et Marquette. Un grand merci pour votre support. A big thank you to all of our sponsors.
Now, in addition to being the first stop on the ISU Short Track Speed Skating World Tour, the Maurice Richard Arena very much the home of the Canadian team. Now, Keller, behind us is the Canadian dressing room. Now, what makes this unique in the world of international short track?
Well, this is such a special dressing room. This is not what you see in every arena for every team. So what they've done here is really incredible. The athletes really appreciate it, and it would just be great to give you guys a tour and behind-the-scenes look at what they have going on here. So as we enter the locker room here, the first thing we're going to see is the history. Canada has a deep history of Olympic champions, Olympic medalists. So they got the history dating back to the '92 Olympics, the first official Olympics of short track speed skating. So while the athletes are hanging around have here, sharpening their skates, dialing their blades in for their races, they're also going to be reminded of the past, you know, and the glory behind them. So it's just great to have that as a reference to remember that they belong on this level, that they're here to compete and here to win. As their athletes are, you know, queuing up their equipment, getting ready again, they can review some of their practice sessions on the TV, they can review their races, and it's a great way to kind of see some highlights of what they've been doing and what things they may want to tweak and improve on. As we continue through the locker room, we have a great little lounge area here where the athletes can hang out after practice or before practice. Nice safe space, somewhere just to chill, somewhere to relax. And then even, you know, this weekend, warming up with their bikes. As we go through here, we see the team motto on the wall, the glass half full, reminding the athletes that they're fortunate to be in a high-performance sport and that they got to come in and fill that glass every day. Little coffee bar, snack bar, get what you need, hydrate. As we wrap up the tour here, we're going to come into the locker room. So this is where we're going to see the athletes suiting up before they come out for the races, getting their mindsets ready, ready to hit that ice and ready to try to win.
Right inside here on this unique facility for the Canadian national team. The first stop, the home of short track in Canada.
on this morning session on the final day of competition in Montreal for the ISU Short Track World Tour. Then we get a break for lunch before the afternoon's program. Women's repechage semifinals. 2 races, 2 heats, 1 spot in each race. Yes, yes, yes. Plus any advancements, etc., etc. As we always like to say, we always put the asterisk next to it. At one point, we'll just start to assume that the asterisk is always there. But if everything goes to plan, and we have had some clean racing pretty much throughout the morning, it's just the race winners if it's more clean racing.
Well, the rep quarters were all clean. So they'll see if that trend continues.
Exactly, and so the lights are up, the markers are out, the skaters start to come out now. And so 5 skaters in each heat. We'll run through who they are in heat number 1. Valentina Askic of the Croatian Dalmatians, Yelizaveta Sidorko of the Ukrainian Wildcats, Gwendolyn Daudet of the French Roosters, and then a pair of nomads, Zeynep Kumarkan and Malika Yermak. Tough to handicap this one with rankings kind of just all over the board. It might come down to who gets into that corner first, and Askic certainly showed that in her last race.
That's right. Askic controlled it start to finish in the last one, but Sidorko, who's second position, had a really quick start in her race, and she gained the lead right away. So she's going to be wanting to try to win that start here again and try to mix things up. So we'll just sit back, watch, and enjoy the show.
And as we've seen through the entire weekend, even down to the final corner, even a skater well off in front, anything can happen. And so until someone crosses the line and there's no review, we won't really be sure of who wins.
Go to the start. Ready.
And on this one, it is Askic. Sidorko Daudet initially dropped her spot for 3rd off the line, gained it back. Now there is an opening. It looks like it is the front 2. Askic and Sidorko vying for 1 place. Daudet trying to close it back up.
Sidorko has to go for it. She has to try for that top position, so she can need to try to set up a pass here.
Kumarkan with the move on the inside. Daudet drops to the back, gains 1 back, and still Askic, nice defending on the front. She will get the bell. Sidorko, she's got to size things up quickly. Yermak closing, might she run out of time? It is still Askic going wire to wire, and she will hang on to advance to the quarterfinals this afternoon. And I can say that confidently as, well, relatively confidently. There's no yellow markings on the corner. They will again take a look, but I don't think there was anything untoward from that race.
No, I think Askic skated a nice clean race there, so she's done exactly what she needed to do. There's quite a bit of movement back for that battle for 3rd there. However, that won't impact the result.
So Askic looking like there will be a Dalmatian going on to the quarterfinals. And I know I've said it before, but that's going to be a fun kit to come out. Thumbs up.
Smile and a thumbs up. Yeah, you know, it's no easy feat getting through these repechage races, right? And, you know, it lengthens out the day, but there's a lot of competitive skaters here, so it's a sigh of relief for Askic, as she knows she's moving into the afternoon's main event.
She's enjoyed position 1, but as the repechage advancer, she's probably going to be out in position 4 or 5 in the quarterfinals. So she'll be reviewing her tactics, I'm sure. Heat number 2, Nakashima Mide, Gabriela Topolska, Kurokawa Ki, Sofia Konya, Betty Muska. And so see if the ninjas might work together before, or try to get to the front and floor it a little bit before leaving it to an internal battle, because of course 1 place. But Topolska has had a very good race in the last round as well.
Ready.
And so it is again. Topolska nicely getting around into position 1. Ninjas in 2nd and 4th. Konya with a nice move on the inside. She has a gap to close a little bit, but look out, here comes Nakashima as well. Kurokawa also closing, but Topolska more than happy to see them battling. There's one skater down, but Topolska more than happy to see them battling out behind her. She's just able to skate off into the distance now.
Well, just a very well executed race by Topolska here. She won that start, good battle to the lead, and then her track pattern's just been phenomenal, keeping that speed going.
So Topolska will take it. It was Nakashima Mide going off. There was a review. It has been cleared. So it does not look like any other discipline will be handed out. And Topolska, another good race for her, sending potentially the Hussar into the quarterfinal. Just wait for it to be official, but it's almost official.
It's a good look at the track. Topolska there out front. Once she had that lead, she knew she had some separation, so she could go a little bit wider on her entries. She was getting 2 crossovers in that was helping her maintain a higher speed. Skaters in behind, they're trying to defend their position, can't open up quite as wide, can't attack the corners quite as much, and that allows that gap to continue to grow.
The results have now been made official. Gabriela Topolska will make it through to the afternoon session. There's the result up there of the one skater moving on. And so it's Askic and Topolska who will get some more skating in the 500 this afternoon. And just a reminder of what is to come this afternoon. We have the men's relay will, of course, conclude proceedings. There will be the women's 500. That's why we did these repechages. We have the men's 1,000 meters, of course, the women's 1,500 meters, and then all getting going with the mixed relay. We jump right into the medal races. Lots more to come from Tyler and myself. So if you are watching, of course, on the ISU YouTube channel, keep an eye out for the link for that afternoon's races. It's lunchtime here in Montreal. Just doing some quick math. It's about an hour and 45-ish minutes until showtime here on the World Tour. And so signing things off for now on behalf of Tyler Dara and the entire crew putting this whole production together. My name is Gavin Day. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.
You can come back with your tickets. Racing starts this afternoon with the mixed team relay at 1:32 p.m. and the opening ceremonies will be closer to 1:10 p.m. Holds n'est un tous, et on se revoit plus tard cet après-midi.